In the ever-evolving world of finance, Robert Kiyosaki can't help but express his concerns over how dire the financial situation has become. It's no longer a distant threat, it's knocking at our doors. The question that looms large is not if it's going to get worse, but rather, how much worse it will become. So, what's the game plan? The good news is that there's still time to prepare. Welcome to Wealth Wiz. Get ready to level up your money game. Whether you're all about saving, investing, or crushing that debt, we've got your back. Hit the subscribe button and let's dive into this financial journey together. Robert acknowledges the current saturation of money within the financial landscape, thanks to the ever-increasing money supply, or M2. But he poses a crucial question, one that resonates with all of us. What's in store for us if the authorities decide to raise interest rates, potentially pushing us into a recession? The repercussions of such a move could be catastrophic, particularly for small businesses. Furthermore, if prices continue to skyrocket, we're in for a wild ride. But Robert's real concern lies in the bond market and the seemingly fragile state of the repo market. Robert takes us on a historical journey back to 1913, when the Federal Reserve, America's third central bank, came into existence. He stresses that every US president before then had adamantly warned against the establishment of a central bank, much like the Bank of England. Shockingly, the Federal Reserve isn't federal, possesses no reserves, and is more of a cartel of banks. A pivotal moment in history, 1913, marked not only the birth of the Federal Reserve, but also the imposition of taxes on Americans, thanks to the 16th Amendment. Prior to that, America had been a tax-free nation. But this development raises a profound question. For money to exist, taxes had to exist. The very foundation of our monetary system is rooted in this intriguing history. Fast forward to 1944, when, as World War II was drawing to a close, the world unanimously agreed to designate the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, with a promise that it would be backed by gold. This commitment was reaffirmed by the United States. But in a surprising twist of events, President Nixon declared in 1971 that the promise had been broken. This decision unleashed an era of unchecked money printing that continues to impact us today. Robert discusses recent revelations that governments worldwide had splurged a staggering $17 trillion on the pandemic. This figure, which includes loans and guarantees, accounts for a mind-boggling 16% of the global GDP. That's the equivalent of how much money was printed in a single year. If this doesn't set alarm bells ringing and send you scurrying to invest in gold and silver, Robert isn't sure what will. The government's spending spree is unsettling, and personally, he's never trusted them. He points out that they're incredibly inept, highly educated folks who don't grasp the art of making money. Instead of capitalist, they lean more towards socialism. Robert is convinced that in a few years, we'll witness the banks facing a precarious situation due to the mounting debt. The Fed and the Bank of England seemingly have a magic wand, and all they do is print more money. As long as people have faith in this printed toilet paper, all is well. But the moment someone questions its value, we're in deep trouble. To illustrate this, Robert takes us to Zimbabwe, where hyperinflation rendered a $10 billion note worthless, not even enough to buy an egg. It's a harsh reality, one that's slowly but surely impacting all of us. Stop right there. We're rolling out the red carpet for you to join our awesome money community. By subscribing, you'll unlock a treasure trove of financial guides, pro tips, and expert chats. Don't wait. Hit the subscribe button and become part of our money-savvy family today. Robert acknowledges that our woes aren't solely driven by financial mismanagement. There's an intellectual rift at the core of it all. Academics and their far-left ideologies are a significant part of the problem. It's baffling to observe the idealism they champion, often detached from real-world economics. The Federal Reserve and the Bank of England fall into this category, continually making projections that don't align with reality. While the stock market continues to soar, masking the underlying issues, the real picture is quite different. The numbers reveal a startling fact. We're already in a depression. Economists may tout a growth rate of 3%, but in reality, it's hovering at just 2%, which technically classifies as a depression. It's a grim reality that's often overshadowed by the euphoria in the stock market. But financial turmoil is just one piece of the puzzle. The social fabric of our society is also unraveling before our eyes. The move towards Marxism is becoming increasingly apparent. The streets of Portland, Seattle, New York, Chicago, and many other cities are testimony to this unsettling shift. The idea of defunding the police and reckless money printing coexists in a peculiar dance that defies logic. As the push towards Marxism intensifies, it's essential to consider how we reached this point. A vital turning point, in Robert's view, was September 17, 2019, when the repo market went haywire. Interest rates that typically hovered around 2% suddenly spiked to an alarming 10%. It was an early indicator that the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury were teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. In response, they stepped in, taking control of the repo market and manipulating prices. Given his military background, Robert can't help but wonder about the origins of the virus. The question that arises is whether it's a result of biological warfare. It's not a notion that he takes lightly, but it's a question that suspicious minds tend to ask. We must remain vigilant and seek the truth, especially in times when our liberties are at stake. Globalization, a concept that often leans left, has had a profound impact on our economy. The exodus of jobs from the country is closely linked to the prosperity of other nations. But the question we should be asking is, what happens to the American worker in this equation? The well-being of the workforce seems to have been relegated to the background, and this concern cuts against the grain of the liberal perspective. Robert's concerns are not confined to party lines. He's neither Republican nor Democrat. He identifies as a capitalist. His understanding of economics was honed in military school, which presents a distinctive view compared to traditional business school economics. In military school, they contemplated matters such as who kills more people, socialist or capitalist. The answer was clear, and history provides evidence. The horrors of Nazi Germany, the USSR, and other socialist regimes speak volumes. The protection of capitalism and the values it upholds have been central to the American way of life. Robert stands as a testament to this, as he too fought for capitalism during his time as a US Marine. Unfortunately, we're witnessing a shift towards socialism and Marxism within our nation. As a result, Robert's money has been stashed overseas for years in a bid to secure his financial future. The financial storm clouds are gathering, and the landscape is changing rapidly. Robert Kiyosaki's call to action is a stark reminder that we live in uncertain times. It's crucial to stay informed, diversify our financial assets, and embrace the principles of capitalism that have made our nation prosperous. The journey ahead is uncertain, but with knowledge and foresight, we can navigate these troubled waters and secure a brighter financial future. Thanks for tuning in. We hope our video shed some financial light for you. If you enjoy it and want more, hit that like button and join the squad by subscribing.